Well, I think we have everybody except John Wall is going to probably not make it due to the fire call that they're on. So let's see. Councilman Coker, would you like me to go over the agenda on that?
Absolutely. I
Wonderful.
think you do a fine job.
I appreciate that, sir. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll start today's Police Commission meeting for March 4th, 2021 at 4:16 p.m. I've already emailed the previous meeting minutes to the commission, so you should have that in your email. I apologize, we didn't get that out to you sooner, but you do have that in your email. The old business that I have down first is the golf cart ordinance. Just want to update everybody that at the March Town Council meeting, it was discussed by the board and they approved the $50 registration fee. Originally, there was discussion of $100 to $150 to register the individual golf carts. It was decided upon the $50 would be the appropriate registration fee. And at next Monday, March 8th, that actual ordinance will be up for discussion at the town council meeting as well, and it's on their agenda. Any questions on the golf cart ordinance?
My understanding is the country clubs offered to take care of their golf carts, and then the police are going to take care of registering the other golf carts. Is that kind of the idea?
That's correct, Dr. LeMay. Between my office and Renee will take care of the registration for the remainder. My recommendation would be to the council is that we'll work with the country club to figure out where they bought their previous stickers from and that, and then look at their format on Excel, how they track all the information in that, so that we have some uniformity between the way we're going to register.
Sounds good.
When do you hope that will be activated? For May or June, or we're going to operation?
Dr. LeMay, when do you think the ordinance will actually pass through the council?
It's on the agenda for Monday, so hopefully Chris Willoughby will have it typed up and sent out to all the town council members. So I'm hoping we can vote on it and suspend the rules and get it done at this meeting. That should give us some lead time to get everything done.
Great.
And then hopefully, Bob, I would say late April, early May, we'll start getting everything registered, depending on the time it takes to get the stickers in.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how we want to notify people who don't attend town council meetings, who aren't going to know about it. We maybe need to.
Bill's mass email will help too. We can get that distribution list out. So.
Yeah, and the other thing too is since we're going to have people who don't get emails, although I don't know how many of them are driving golf carts, but maybe we do some kind of a warning if somebody isn't registered at first, just because it's not going to be 100% received.
No, I totally agree with that. We'll be very patient with it for the first year. I'm sure we'll be able to find our repeat offenders over time.
Yeah.
All right, under old business, the next one was the building security upgrades. The town council generously approved not to exceed the project at $15,000. I have since met with Sentinel Alarm Company. They've conducted their final survey. They also looked at the fire department building. Unfortunately, we cannot bring the fire department building into the system at this time because we do not have an Ethernet connection between the two buildings. Eventually, if any type of remodeling was done on the fire side, then their doors could be tied to our system, with the only additional cost would be for the door operators and the card readers. So our system does have room to grow. It's just unfortunately we cannot connect the one door right now. I suspect in the next month to 2 months, they'll start to work here. They just had to get all the components on order. So, any questions on the building security upgrades?
Good.
Okay. Under new business, the Police Auxiliary Board, just an update. Bob Rose was selected and approved by the town council at their last meeting. I have spoke to Bob Rose, Zach Neff, and Dan Moon. Personally spoke with all three of them. I have emailed them, and we'll set up a introduction meeting with them sometime in the next 4 weeks. Probably have them come into the town council chambers, and I'll meet with the three of them just to hold our annual meeting, and then just mainly for introductions and that. So, and any questions on the police auxiliary board? Okay. Indiana law enforcement annual training requirements. Just an update on our annual training requirements. All of our officers, to include our part-time and our reserve officers, have completed the first 16 hours of the required 24 hours of mandatory state training. That included 1 full day, 8 hours of CPR recertification, to include first aid response training. Also, they received training on Taser Recertification, which we are required to do every year. They require us to fire at least 2 cartridges from our Taser weapons. Just to kind of give you guys some insight on that too. So during the Taser Recertification, what a lot of people don't understand is Taser has really cornered the market when it comes to the Taser weapons. They require you to be certified every year, and part of that certification is you must fire 2 live cartridges from the actual electronic control weapon. And what that means is those cartridges are $40 each. So for every officer, we're spending $80 a year to recertify them. And with 5 full-time officers and 5 reserve officers, we spend a minimum of just $800. Then I got to buy additional cartridges to have on hand for on-duty use, any malfunctions and that. So just for Taser cartridges alone, we're spending over $1,000 a year. Just shows you how expensive law enforcement technology has become. Just wanted to throw that example out. Use of force, got that review as well. An RMS update on our records management system. And then OWI field sobriety recertification. What that is it's the 3 state-approved standardized field sobriety tests that we are required to conduct prior to making an OWI arrest. All of our staff have been recertified by the certified instructors. In fact, very pleased with our officers. Last night, Deputy Seitz, in fact, made an OWI arrest on Highway 12, just on our town border here, of an individual. And the night before that, Deputy Yagelski was coming off of Lakeshore Drive and was nearly struck head on and made an OWI arrest, which happened to be a felony OWI arrest. The female happened to be her 4th OWI arrest in 7 years. So I'm very proud of our midnight officers. Both Yagelski and Seitz in the last 2 days have made 2 OWI arrests. So very, very pleased with those results. And then we'll be getting out the rest of our continuing education, the videos that we're mandated to do. I'll set a date of probably late November to have all those completed, but we're on track for our training right now. Any questions on the training? All right. COVID vaccine update. You'll see on the agenda, LaPorte County residents, they had lowered the age to 60. Well, I seen in an email that I just sent out earlier today, they've now lowered that to 50 and above. So anyone that's 50 years of age or older can now register for the COVID vaccine. I know several of our employees, I myself, I have both of my vaccines already, and I would highly encourage everybody to take advantage of that. Ammunition update. I do have 2 cases of duty ammunition that I received about 2 weeks ago. So the department now has some ammunition, at least enough for the first or second shoot of the year. So the plan is when we go to the range here, probably in April or May, we'll end up shooting the ammunition that we currently carry on duty, and then we'll reload all of our magazines with the new duty ammunition that we just received. Any questions on the ammunition? And still, again, there is a nationwide shortage on that, 12 to 14 months before we receive our practice ammo. Vehicle updates. The council approved at their last meeting that we can sell the 2013 Ford Police Interceptor that lost a transmission here recently, so we'll be taking care of that in the next couple of months. We have, since the council meeting, had the vehicle stripped. The graphics are off the vehicle. I'd like to thank Renee Richardson for doing that. Renee did an exceptional job getting the old police graphics off of the car. And then Minor Electronics has stripped all the electronics, the radio, light, siren, everything's out of that car. And it's sitting in our back north lot, ready to be sold at public auction.
What do we do with the stripped equipment?
The stripped equipment, good question, John. The radio, the camera, and the radar will go into officer or deputy sites as a new vehicle.
Okay.
The light bar that was on top is of no use to us because of the age and it's weathered. So therefore, the new cars will get all new red and blue lights and new sirens. But the high dollar, like the radars, the in-car radio, those are all being transferred over to the new car. So very little equipment is not being used in the new car. Just some of the original lights and siren. Just because of wear and tear, it doesn't make any sense reusing those on a vehicle. We'll keep a new vehicle for 7 years.
Who installs that? Locally or?
Out of Munster, Minor Electronics. We'll actually, I'm hoping to have the electronics for the 2 new cars in the next couple of weeks. And then we'll be driving the new cars over to Munster. We'll leave them there at their electronics shop, and then they'll contact us once they're outfitted. Deputy Sites' car already has the graphics on it. And the only thing we got to do is get the lights and siren, and that vehicle will be ready for the road. It's already registered. I've had both vehicles registered with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. In fact, his license plate has already been sent to us by the BMV.
Okay.
Cost saving initiatives. I just kind of put this on there for everybody's knowledge that we have been reviewing all of our annual contracts, going over other department expenditures, looking for any cost saving measures that we can utilize on our operating budget. We have found several things that we have been able to negotiate and or changes in contracts and plans that we have. I've listed a few of them. Verizon Wireless, that is our wireless internet connectivity that we have between our cars, and also the use that street department and water department has on their laptops. I was able to deactivate a few of the lines that we noticed were not used at all. 5 of the lines were deactivated at a cost of $30 per line per month. So we saved about $150 a month just on the Verizon bill. AT&T, we have changed over all of the town's issued cell phones for police, the building inspector, street and water. Everybody has been changed over to AT&T's FirstNet plan, which is their public safety platform. As a law enforcement agency, we were able to take in the other departments from the town under our umbrella. Everyone has received new cell phones, which was a free upgrade. They now have iPhone 11s. The new iPhone 11s did not cost us anything. The benefit to that is we took advantage of a free upgrade that AT&T currently has, and then we were able to trade in the current phones that the deputies and the town employees were carrying, and we got on average $190 credit per phone towards our upcoming month's bills. So we saved well over $1,000 just trading in the existing phones. Several of the phones from at least one on the water side, one on the street side, I know were malfunctioning, they were having issues with. So everybody has new phones, and there were savings on the plan. I don't know those final dollar amounts, but it'll be a considerable amount of money we'll be saving on our annual cost on our AT&T plan. Then the Comcast Internet TV, I'm getting ready to make some changes with that as well. I met with our IT contractor. We're going to negotiate with Comcast on our internet annual cost, monthly cost, and then probably going to disconnect the TV service with Comcast and go with a local provider that's able to assist us with the the TV that we need here in the town hall at a much lower cost. And let's see, the last one I have listed on here is Lexipol. Lexipol is the contractor that the department previously used to update the police department's operating policies. What Lexipol does is they monitor any law changes, any updates, and then they'll go into your policies, they'll make the updates for you. You contract with them to kind of do the lobbying for you, more or less watching for the updates. I can do that on my own behalf rather than paying $3,700 a year for that service. So between myself and Sergeant Schooley, we can make sure that our policies are up to date. And then we're going to change over our policy, kind of the model that we use now, and go with the International Associations of Chiefs of Police policy. So we'll be changing over the policies over the next year or so. It's going to be a slow go. Hoping to get started on that in the next couple of months. But definitely we'll save $3,700 a year on that. So
It's great.
And so overall, just to kind of give you an idea, about $8,800 we were able to shave off of some of our operating costs here just in the last couple of months. And big thank you to Sergeant Schooley and the rest of the guys here, the whole team. Everybody came together and made some hard decisions on some of these cost saving measures. Police Commission voting procedures. This was brought to my attention by Sergeant Schooley and the rest of the deputies as well, that I wanted to review with the Police Commission members to get a feel from you and to share with you what other law enforcement agencies are doing in the nearby vicinity. As with any board or commission, when you have voting members, typically you have an odd number. So then you don't come up with a tie. In other words, you don't have 4 members or 6 members. The current way, and when I read our town's ordinance related to the police commission, I see that there are 4 appointments to our police commission. I myself being 1 member, 2 members of the town council appointed by the town council president, and then 1 member of the community approved by the town council president as well, which is Mr. Gallagher. My thoughts are, and I think it's only fair to keep my office honest as well, is that I should not be a voting member on the police commission. When I was the former chief of police for the Michigan City Police Department, there were 3 police commissioners, 1 appointed by the mayor of the city, 1 appointed by the city council, and 1 appointed by the members of the department. The police chief in the city of Michigan City was a member of that board as an advisory position, but not a voting member. I would like to make the recommendation to this police commission as well that I just be an advisory member of the commission, but not be a voting member of the commission. And then the staff have asked that in the future for the civilian appointment from the town, that the deputies have a selection in that and then forward their selection to the town president, town council for appointment. So something for discussion. Dr. LeMay asked that I bring it up at this coming Monday's town council meeting, but I wanted to get the feedback from you gentlemen as well before we move forward with this. So I guess I'd open the floor for some discussion.
I think that's an excellent suggestion. I understand, what you're referring with a 2-2 tie. I mean, you got to make a decision, right or wrong. You got to make a decision. And so I think that's a good suggestion that you'd be an advisory. We're obviously going to take your advice with a lot of credence, but
Sure.
that you're not going to be, involved in the actual decision. So I think that's great. I think it's a good idea.
You're right, John. That seems the way to go, because as long as we have your advice, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it keeps my office transparent, and
Right.
I feel it's the proper thing to do. And also the deputies should have a say on the commission as well. It's only fair to them because there are matters that will come before this commission that the deputies, should have a say in as well. And then they have a liaison that they can communicate with, and that can kind of be their spokesperson as well. We have a great working relationship here with all of the deputies, being the small team that we are, have a great amount of respect for one another and that, but I do feel that they should have a voice on the commission as well. So I appreciate both of your support on this. And as Dr. LeMay's recommendation, I'll bring the same up during my report this coming Monday. So, Dr. LeMay, any thoughts?
If we do introduce that, if we do decide to adopt that, then that means that somebody who's now on the commission would be replaced by somebody who'd be the choice of the deputies, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Gallagher's at position now. I guess I'd have to feel out the deputies, or we let the term run this year and then, January 1 of next year. Yeah, but that is a good point. So
Bob, maybe why don't you think about how you would feel about being bumped off the commission?
If it's for the good of the commission, I'm all for it.
Okay, then that's not an issue at all. Okay.
No.
And Bob, again, on your behalf, you're more than willing to stay active as your role in that. I would have no problem, lobbying with the guys to say that you would definitely be interested and share that with Sergeant Schooley, because I would probably task him with taking the lead on this, and then Sergeant Schooley getting with the troops to make their recommendation. So, but thank you for your honesty.
I think it's a good concept. They should have some input.
Thank you, sir.
Officers, yeah.
Any other thoughts or discussion on the police commission voting procedures? And then again, Dr. May, it's probably, like if it gets passed, we'd have to have Chris obviously change the current ordinance to fit what we're asking for. So actually, Bob, it might take us a little while to enact that, but hopefully it won't take very long.
Well, once we get back to, if we ever get back to open meetings, I can always watch them and participate.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome, Bob. Always welcome.
I know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Saturday, March 20th, 5K walk run. It's my understanding that our volunteer firefighters have done an excellent job working with the Notre Dame alumni. They've kept me in communication. Fire Chief Wall has done an excellent job sharing the route with me and everything. I know at this time, myself, Deputy Babcock, several of our reserve officers will be out that day. I've also reached out to the traffic commander at the Michigan City Police Department, Captain Jeff Lineski. I believe at least himself and probably several others will be out. And it's my understanding that Notre Dame alumni will have several people helping as well. The route on that morning, I think registration was around 7:30 in the morning. Going to go up Moore Road out to Lakeshore Drive over to Stop 24. Going to come up here on St. Lawrence around the town hall, back on Oriole to Moore and back to Long Beach. It's also my understanding that they're going to have some kind of event in the parking lot as well throughout the day. I know they were working with Michigan City to get that approved as well. But we'll be assisting on that morning for that run. And I've got no issues with it whatsoever. Being in March and, as early as it is in the morning, I foresee that going off with no problems whatsoever. Any questions on the upcoming 5K run? Hopefully they have good weather as well. So, lastly on here, I have Cad Integration. What that is Sergeant Jim Schooley has been working with Body Worn Utility Company, which is the vendor that provides our in-car cameras and our body worn police cameras that the officers wear on their actual duty uniforms and that. He is working on integrating the CAD, which is our computer-aided dispatch, so that on specific calls that we are dispatched to, and for an example would be a battery in progress, a fight in progress, there'll be preemptives that once we are dispatched, the officers would not have to turn on their body cameras. The system would automatically send a signal to the camera, activating the camera on its own, so that we're assured that the footage of the event would be captured. That would go for our car cameras and our body cameras. Currently, once we turn on the emergency lights and or siren in our police cars, it automatically will turn on the in-car camera system, capture the video. So all great benefits. A big thank you to Sergeant Schooley and all the time he's putting into this. Sergeant Schooley is kind of our in-house IT guy. He does a lot of the information technology, and he's working with the county IT officials, Roscoe Hoffman, to get that taken care of here, hopefully in the next couple of months. And I know he's been working with body-worn utility as well. So just some changes on that, because we are in a 5-year contract with body-worn. So there are no changes that we can make to our in-car cameras or our body cameras. We're in year 2 of a 5-year contract. In fact, I got the invoice today for this year's payment on the body-worn system. And so far, we've been very pleased with the system. It is very sophisticated, I will tell you that. But again, it's a great system and it works well for us. Any questions?
I see Michigan City just bought a bunch of new cameras, and they talked a little bit in the article I saw about their technology. Is our technology pretty comparable to what they're looking at?
No, ours is above and beyond.
Really?
Michigan City had Taser Axon, which is the camera I used to carry, and it would turn on if I activated my Taser weapon. If I turned on the power to my Taser weapon, it would activate my camera and the officers around me. Body-worn, the system that the town had purchased here that Chief Sokowski had proposed, it is a much, much more sophisticated system. It tracks, has geo-tracking, it tracks our speed, our location, our path of patrol. It is a very sophisticated system. In fact, Sergeant Schooley did a nice job of setting up geo-fencing so that now we can actually show the number of miles and the number of hours spent in the other towns that we are under police service contracts with. With Duneland and Michiana, I can now email them monthly and tell them how many miles a month we drove their community and how many hours of presence that we had in their community. And they're very pleased that we can provide that. So
Great.
So all good benefits. With that, I know I could go on and on with other things, but I think that was enough for me for today. Any questions or any comments from the public that are on with us today? Dr. Lemay, can you see if anybody's got a hand up or anything?
Nope, no hands up.
Okay. Any public comment? All right, hearing none. Commissioner comments?
I have no comments on that. You're very thorough.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
And I like these meetings. Short, Dr. LeMay, short.
I keep moving. I try.
I was thinking, Mark, if 25 years ago you decided to go into business rather than the police work, you could be retired by now because you're obviously so successful in business.
Oh, I appreciate
it's to our advantage so that you didn't.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's hard to believe my 29-year career in Michigan City went by so fast. And again, I've said this several times, I'm just very blessed to be a part of the team here in Long Beach. Actually, today's a fine example of when we had D&M here working on the septic system and our piping out in the garage. Such a great team here. Austin, Greg, they came in, they found the septic outside. Then Greg and Austin ran the leak supply out on 400 North. They came in, changed out all the diaphragms on the toilets. The toilets now all work much better in the building. So, I mean, just everybody in the town, either the people I've met or the employees, just all work together really well.
Nice of you not to mention the fact that we had no idea when that septic was pumped out last.
Yeah. And Sergeant Schooley stepped in and he wasn't able to make some comments. He tried, so I'm going to kind of turn the floor over to him. He had some comments under public comment.
You're muted, Jim. I think you got to come closer. Let's try that.
Okay. I just wanted to, traditionally, on the police commission, up until a few years ago, the police department did have that third choice to the commission, and I appreciate your guys' discussion and taking it to the council for correction. Our ordinance as written is a little bit cloudy as far as the third choice, so I'd be happy to see that get fixed.
Good.
And also want to thank Mr. Gallagher for his participation and his willingness to continue. As far as the Cad integration goes, we are live with that now. That went up a couple days ago. Everything is functioning as specified. And as the chief said, it's a fantastic system. It's going to aid us as far as tracking our videos, coupled with our dispatch calls, reports, and that sort of stuff. So it's going very well.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
We thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
You're really an asset.
I can try.
Yeah, and as we talked about earlier, the whole, since arriving, the entire team here, they've been very welcoming, and we're all working together quite well, and we're looking forward to a busy summer season. As I know I shared with some of you, the powerboat races are on for this August. I foresee a very busy summer here in the town. As I've been out in the community, just yesterday I stopped and spoke to at least half a dozen residents yesterday, shared my business card with them, and we're telling them about the parcel package thefts and that. And they've already been either joining our Facebook page or joining the town's website and that. So I think the more we share information with the residents and with the team we work with, we're going to have some great success in the near future.
Do you have any successes finding out who those miscreants were that decided to steal stuff off of people's porches?
Not yet, but we're getting some good information from the other law enforcement officers from other departments and that. And so now all of us know what we're looking for. And Sergeant Schooley did a nice job of slowing the videos down yesterday and taking some snapshots of the 3 different videos and angles that we have. And so, yeah, I feel bad for the people that are out there hiding from us, because we know what we're looking for. So it's just a matter of time to find it. So yeah.
They can run, but they can't hide.
No. So,
Cool.
any other commissioner comments?
Nope.
Dr. LeMay, any closing comments?
Nope, I'm good.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
And then our next meeting will be April 1st at 4 p.m. And so far it will be Zoom unless otherwise noted. And we'll conclude today's meeting at 4:47 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Night, everybody.
Good night.